left, the foundation, God, standeth sure, heaven, the seal. The Lord knoweth them that are his, and let every one that nameth the name of a Mashiach depart from iniquity. So the Most High God knows those that are his, whether you know the Holy Bible or not. It's in your spirit. This is not about how you look. This is about being diligent, that you pray and watch as well as pray to see the coming of the Son of Man, Mashiach Yahushua, before all these things come upon America, Babylon the Great. So the Most High God, He knows those that are his. But our people are dissembled into following what other people say. They do not read for themselves what the Holy Bible is about. Scriptures say to live in the gospel as well as preach the gospel and live by it. You're supposed to live by these words. So our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. They follow what other people say. They follow nothing but confusion. Most High God knows those that are his at the end of the day. 2 Timothy 2:20. But in the great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver, but also a wood and of earth, and some to honor, some to dishonor. So the majority of our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. These are vessels fitted to destruction, just like the so-called white man, just like these other nations that have come up against so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. The nation of Israel, the scriptures say they have consulted to cut them off as a nation, which is why you have these other camps. They're not telling you according to the whole book. This is why we give the double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, because we're not speaking with words of wisdom. We're a double tongue. We're telling you, thus saith the Holy Bible, in the whole book. This is the book of Mark, chapter 7, verse 24. And from thence he arose and went to the borders of Tyre and Zidon, and entered into an house, and would have no man know it, but you could not be hid. Verse 25, for a certain woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard of him, and came and fell on his feet. Mark 7:26, the woman was a Greek, a Syro-Phoenician by nation, and she besought him that he would cast forth the devil out of her daughter. So the point is, our people are scattered in various parts. You have certain people that look like other nations. They are Israelites. You have some that look like other nations and are not Israelites. This is why you have to have the understanding of these various accounts and apply it in your daily walk. You try the Spirit by the Spirit. Scriptures say the diligent will make the calling and election sure. Mark 7:27. But Yahushua saith unto her, let the children first be filled, for it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it unto the dogs. And she answered and said unto him, yes, Lord, yet the dogs under the table eat of the children's crumbs. So she was an Israelite foreigner. She was not practicing Jewry, so-called Jewry like people say. Which is why Mashiach Yahushua, he said, it is not meet to cast the bread, and to take the children's bread and cast it to the dogs. It's not talking about, like other camps say, that she was not an Israelite, that she was of another nation, because he healed her daughter. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 24. A wild ass used to the wilderness, has nothing up with and her pleasure, and her occasion, who can turn her away. All they that seek her will not weary themselves in their month they shall find her. The scriptures compare the nation of Israel to a wild ass that snuffeth up the wind, that goeth after their lovers. This is what our people do, caught up in these various philosophies. They do not know, thus saith the Holy Bible. They do not understand the instructions that the Most High God gave unto His people, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. It's not just about knowing you're an Israelite. It's not about saying and not doing. This is about having a belief in the Mashiach Yahushai, keeping the high holy days, fleeing out of the shadow of this world, the ways of America Babylon the Great, which is nothing but confusion, paganism, just like it was in ancient Babylon, in the Tower of Babel, Nimrod, which means rebellion. This is the spirit that our people are in, spirit of rebellion, rebelling against His word, scorning and scoffing at the prophets. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 9. Deuteronomy 32 and 9. For the Lord's portion is His people. Jacob is a lot of His inheritance. He found him in the desert land, and in the waste, howling wilderness. He led him about. He instructed him. He kept him as the apple of His eye. Who are the apple of His eye? Most High God's eye, the Israelites. The so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, as well as the speckled bird, those that look like other nations. So the so-called white man wants to beguile you of your reward, which is the kingdom of heaven, rulership over planet Earth, spiritual power. Those that look like other nations, they're caught up in the so-called white man's philosophy, that they don't understand that they have salvation. Which is why Most High God is going to destroy many of our people. Because they don't understand that not all so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans are going to look dark brown or black. Second Esdras, chapter 2, and verse 1. Thus saith the Lord, I brought this people out of bondage, and I gave them my commandments by my servants, the prophets, whom they would not hear, but despised my counsels. Which is why the Most High God has raised up prophets in America Babylon the Great to show you what would happen in these latter days, to show you the coming of the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. Revelation 13 and 16, Armageddon, as well as FEMA camps coming to America Babylon the Great. So the Most High God has sent His servants time and time again, but our people would never hearken to the voice of His servants, the prophets, which is the voice of the Most High God. Which is why we are not speaking according to our mind. We're giving you the precepts of the Holy Bible, the prophecies that have been written and now are being revealed in these latter days, to show you that there's a great famine coming, to show you, like Mashiach Yahushua said, there will be great division. Nation will rise up against nation, kingdom against kingdom, city against city, utter chaos. Most High God, His only begotten Son, Mashiach Yahushua, which will return as an angelic power to deliver His elect via the UFOs that you read about in the Holy Bible, which are the chariots of the Most High God, to deliver a small remnant of the nation of Israel. Many will be destroyed in the Lord's day. And the Lord's day is darkness, not light. Why? Because you're going to have Armageddon coming to pass. You're going to have nuclear warfare, nuclear fallout. Scriptures say that the waters will be turned into wormwood. Waters are going to be defiled. Everything will be cast down in Armageddon. But our people are settled on their lease. They don't understand how serious this thing is. And our charge is simple. Come out, speak to our people. Warn them about these things that are coming. About the so-called white man coming down with great wrath. Knowing that his time is short. To show them about the many different types of Israelites. That they're not all going to look pitch black or dark brown. We're telling you, thus saith the precepts, the volume of the book, which is why we give the double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Second Esdras 2:2, the mother that bare them saith unto them, Go your way, ye children, for I am a widow and forsaken. I brought you up with gladness, but with sorrow and heaviness have I lost you, for ye have sinned before Yahweh your God, and done that thing that is evil before him. As for me, 2 Esdras 2:5, as for me, Father, call upon thee for a witness over the mother of these children. 2 Esdras 2:4, but what shall I now do unto you? I am a widow and forsaken. Go your way, my children, and ask mercy of the Lord. As for me, Father, call upon thee for a witness over the mother of these children, which would not keep my covenant, that thou bring them to confusion, and their mother to her spoil, that there may be no offspring for them. Let them be scattered abroad among the heathen. Let their names be put out of the earth, for they have despised my covenant. So people have despised the law, statutes, commandments, the words of the Holy Bible, the prophecies, the Hebrew, the customs, the high holy days, despising the covenant of the Most High God, time and time again. So the Most High God will not make an end of all the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. Though we scatter us, though we smite us, though we be born the shame, even unto this day, of confusion of face. So the Most High God is going to deliver a remnant in these latter days. The majority of our people will cleave unto the so-called white man and these other nations. The Most High God is going to destroy them for despising the covenant that the forefathers made. This is talking about the seed, the bloodline, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The whole book, the 100% truth. Second Esdras 2:8. Woe be unto thee, O Asher, Ashur, thou that hidest the unrighteousness in thee, O thou wicked people. Remember what I did unto Sodom and Gomorrah. So what is Asher? This is a son of Shem. So you have other Shemites that look like us, so-called Hispanics. But these are other nations. These are not our people. These are the ones that consult with the wicked to cut us off, to lead us unto strange gods, even unto this day. Second Esdras 2:8. Woe be unto thee, O Asher, thou that hidest the unrighteousness in thee, O thou wicked people. Remember what I did unto Sodom and Gomorrah. So you have, during the time of Abraham, he came out of Ur of the Chaldees, which was in Mesopotamia, where other Shemites dwelt, Aramites. and as well as these other various tribes that are of Shem. And you have so-called Arabs that look like us as well. But some of them are sons of Shem as well. But they come from these various other tribes and clans. So they are also consulted against our people. Most High God knows your works as well. And He's going to reward at the end of the day every man according to his works. So this is why you have to know the volume of the book. Because you have to judge spiritual things by spiritual things. You can't just have any old person come up to you and claim they know the Holy Bible. Those that are teaching, those that are out there waking our people up, showing them the 100% truth. So it says, Second Esdras 2:15. Mother, embrace thy children, bring them up with gladness. Make their feet as fast as a pillar. For I have chosen thee, saith the Lord. So you have the wife of your youth, which is the law, statutes, and commandments. You also have the wife of the covenant. Right? This talks about the various instructions that the Israelites were given to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, to keep the covenant their forefathers made, as well as knowing the prophecies of the Holy Bible, knowing about the fire of the Egypt, knowing about Armageddon, World War III, FEMA camps, coming to America, Babylon the Great. So those that take the fire of the Egypt will be cast into the lake of fire that burneth with brimstone. Why? Because they despise the Most High God and His Word and His servants, the prophets. You also read about that in the book of Proverbs. That wisdom had builded her house. She had made a feast. The Most High God has opened a feast unto those that hear His word in these latter days. You're supposed to take in the fountain of living waters so that you know the way in which you should walk. So-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 18. In that day shall find cities, the land of Egypt, speak the language of Canaan. Swear to the Lord of hosts, one shall be called the city of destruction. So what is that language of Canaan? The ancient Hebrew. Scriptures say that the Most High God will give unto us a pure language to call upon Him, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, to seek His word in the latter days, to not take the fire of the Egypt, which is the mark of the beast, to know that FEMA camps is coming, martial law, so-called white man coming down with great wrath, knowing that His time is short. Isaiah 19:19. In that day shall there be no altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt. And a pillar at the border thereof unto the Lord. So this place is called, compared unto spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Isaiah 19:2 and 1 and on down. It speaks about Hamashiach Yahushai visiting Egypt and the Egyptians fighting one against another. Which is why Hamashiach Yahushai, he said there would be great division in the last days. And this Satan rise up against Satan and be divided, his kingdom will not stand. So that as the Israelites are waking up, you have these other nations waking up to their wickedness. They're waking up and making their counsels to come to pass. To try to cut off the Israelites as a nation. But the Most High God is going to throw them down. And in the end, he's going to throw down the so-called white man. Like the scriptures say, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. It's talking about the dominion that will be given to the saints, the Most High God, the tribes of Israel, the Israelites, the 12 tribes, those that seek His word, those that are faithful and hold fast to what they had and commit the works unto the end. Those that know about the RFID chip, not to take it. That will be your ultimate test of faith when you are presented with the RFID chip. So in these days, as the last of these prophecies come to pass, the doors of mercy are closing unto you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. The Most High God is closing up the breaches of the tabernacle of David, which consists of the remaining 12 tribes that return and repent as Israelites. Repent and keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Have a belief in the Mashiach Yahushai. Call upon Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, making their supplication unto the east. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. The so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. This is not a game. This is about your soul. This is about whether you follow the Most High God or man. Isaiah 19:19. In that day there shall be an altar unto the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord. So what is the altar? That represents the great multitude that we to be delivered out of America, Babylon the Great. You have the pillar of Israel, which starts with the Mashiach Yahushai, the cornerstone. And then you have the elect, the 144,000, those that are giving you this word with love unfeigned, with fidelity, showing fidelity unto the Most High God in His word, speaking His prophecies without guile, meaning we're telling you, thus say the scriptures. We're not telling you according to our mind and what we think and what other camps are saying. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 9, verse 1. Proverbs 9:1. Wisdom hath builded her house. She hath hewn out her 7 pillars. She hath killed her beasts. She had mingled her wine. She had also furnished her table. She hath set forth her maidens. She cried upon the highest places of the city. This is why we come out on the highways and byways. Matthew chapter 22:9. To show our people the truth, to warn them about the things that are coming upon America, Babylon the Great. America, Babylon the Great, being burnt up with great fire. So you're supposed to seek wisdom. Scriptures say you're supposed to make wisdom your kinswoman, like unto a close friend. The Most High God has prepared a feast before you, but our people are after the flesh. They mind earthly things, and these things will pass away quickly as this man system is going down. Like Mashiach Yahushai said, I saw Satan like lightning falling down from heaven. This is how fast this man system is going down as the Israelites are waking up in these latter days, giving you the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Holy Bible. Proverbs 9:4. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. As for him that wanteth understanding, she saith unto him, Come, eat of my bread, and drink of the wine which I have mingled. Forsake the foolish, and live, and go into the way of understanding. So you're supposed to seek the bread and wine of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, which is the prophecies in these latter days that has been revealed unto His servants the prophets. Those that are out here prophesying, and we do this work because we hope to be of that elect. Zephaniah chapter 3 and verse 9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of Yahweh to serve Him with one consent. So as the Israelites wake up, we're showing you the different examples of the Scriptures. We're showing you that some will look like other nations. We're showing you that Mashiach Yahushai was not preaching salvation unto everyone. He said, "Go not into the way of the Gentile, neither enter into any city of the Samaritan, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel," which are the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, as we're prophesying unto our people, showing them the 100% truth of the Holy Bible. Thus saith the Holy Bible, not according unto our mind, giving you good doctrine, which is likened unto a feast. You have to eat good vegetables. Be nourished by the words of life. Like the Scriptures say, wine and bread, which wisdom hath prepared unto thee. But our people mind the earthly things. They do not mind the heavenly things. Neither care when we speak of things to come, which is the kingdom of heaven. And the kingdom of heaven is at hand. The Most High God is going to throw down this place in 1 hour, like John the Revelator saw. And he said that in the latter days he would prophesy once again. So the prophets are back. Jews are black. And the prophets are back, prophesying the downfall of America, Babylon the Great, as we're giving you the 100% truth. Thus saith the Holy Bible, started with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. So it says, this is Revelation chapter 11 and 1. And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple, leave it out, measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles. And the holy city shall they tread under foot 42 months, from 1619 till 1969, when the Israelites would wake up in these latter days. And you have certain parts of this ministry which consist of teachers. You have the altar, which is the great multitude. You have the elect, which is the pillar of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So you have the various offices and ordinances that the Most High God gave to show His people the way. So you have the temple, which is the body. You have the altar, which consists of the 144,000. So there's an order in this thing. You have the various precepts that tell you that many will follow after their own ways. The Most High God has given you wise men, scribes, prophets, those that prophesy, those that exhort, those that rebuke, in season and out of season, like the Scriptures say, whether we feel like coming out or not, whether it's cold or hot, whether we're sick or not, we come out to show our people the way, to give them the words of the Holy Bible. For He so called